The film shows two police officers who have just raided cartel members in the middle of a transaction. They manage to seize several kilos of illegal goods to be used as evidence. The story shifts to a consulting office, where a man named Teddy, who the night before had absconded with his client's money, including the cartel boss's money, caused the disgruntled cartel boss to offer a large bounty to a hitman to kill him. Teddy, feeling unsafe, wanted to surrender to the police because he felt safer behind bars. However, when he tried to surrender, the corrupt police wanted to hand Teddy over to the cartel boss to claim the reward. The corrupt police's plan was exposed, and a shootout ensued, resulting in the death of the police, including the corrupt ones. Teddy managed to escape, but was still pursued by the hitman sent by the cartel boss. That night at a bar, a commotion occurred that was being settled by a police officer named Valerie. However, while trying to intervene, she was struck by a man who turned out to be Teddy. Teddy did this so he could be jailed and safe from the hitman's pursuit. The hitman hunting Teddy learned that Teddy was about to be jailed, and eventually Teddy was taken to the police station on charges of attempting to harm an officer. There, Valerie found a wound on Teddy's abdomen and asked if he was being pursued, but Teddy did not answer. Then Teddy was put into a cell. The police sergeant there ordered his subordinates, including Huber, to check the cartel's evidence. Meanwhile, patrolling police found the police car previously stolen by Teddy. When they checked the car, a drunk man crashed into them and was immediately arrested. At the police station, they found no identification on the man and only found insulin. The man was placed in a cell next to Teddy's. After the police left, it turned out that the man was the hitman sent by the cartel boss to kill Teddy. The man's name was Bob Vidic. Realizing this, Teddy was shocked and frightened. He screamed, calling the police to inform them that Vidic was a hitman. Vidic threatened that if Teddy spoke up, he would contact the cartel boss to kill his family. When the police arrived, Teddy pretended to want to eat to avoid suspicion. The policeman then told them to be quiet. Teddy, knowing that Vidic is a legendary hitman, tries to make a deal with Vidic, even willing to pay Vidic twice the amount the cartel boss had offered. However, Vidic declares that he is a professional hitman who cannot be bribed by his target. Meanwhile, Huber enters the evidence storage room, inserting drug evidence similar to the cartel's. It turns out he has been colluding with the cartel boss because Huber is known to owe him a lot of debt. Back in the cell, Vidic asks Teddy why he betrayed the cartel boss, who had always provided him with money and facilities. Teddy replies that he was never satisfied with just collecting money. Meanwhile, the sergeant is looking for Huber, feeling that Huber's report about the evidence is wrong. However, Huber is hiding in the restroom, calling the cartel boss. Huber said that he could only take some of the drugs, but the cartel boss said that he still owed him a lot. In the cell, a man wakes up and realizes that Vidic is already in his cell. The man tries to mock Vidic and behaves rudely towards him, even calling Vidic his stepfather several times and asking Vidic to massage his sore back. Vidic remains silent and ignores him. Teddy just smiles at that. The man didn't know who he was messing with until the alarm clock rings. At that moment, the seized insulin emits smoke, while the man continues to curse at Vidic. The smoke from the insulin becomes more intense, setting off the prison alarm. However, Vidic immediately attacks the man. After that, Vidic and Teddy scream. The sergeant, hearing the screams, enters. There, Vidic claims that the man is having seizures and needs immediate medical attention, while Teddy tells the sergeant not to enter because it's a trap. However, the sergeant, seeing the man dying, immediately opens his cell and enters. When about to take the man, Vidic attacks him. Then, Vidic shoots at Teddy. Fortunately, Teddy manages to dodge. Then, as Vidic tries to enter Teddy's cell, Valerie arrives and points a gun at him. As a result, Vidic is put back into the cell and handcuffed, while the man is quickly taken to the treatment room. There, they immediately call the medical police to come quickly. Valerie returns to the cell and asks what really happened. Teddy immediately says that Vidic is a hitman targeting him. Vidic claims that Teddy is a master con artist who is not to be trusted. Valerie, more interested in Teddy's story, asks him to continue. Teddy says he is indeed a con artist, but he claims he only conned the cartel boss. After that incident, he also surrendered to the police. Unfortunately, Teddy encounters corrupt police officers. They take Teddy to a motel on the border to hand him over to the cartel. Luckily, another police officer knows about this and they kill each other until no police officers survive. Teddy successfully escapes and asks Valerie to check on his family in Nevada, fearing they might be in danger. After hearing all of Teddy's stories, Valerie immediately contacts the patrolling police to verify Teddy's claims about the police presence in front of the border hotel. The police find no evidence of a fight, leading Valerie to believe that Teddy has lied. Then Valerie contacts a Nevada police detective named Sarah. She inquires if Sarah knows Teddy, a notorious con artist from Nevada. Sarah is well aware of who Teddy is and asks Valerie to bring Teddy to the Nevada prison the next day. We also learn that Sarah is a corrupt cop who has concealed the deaths of police officers killed in a battle in front of the border hotel. This means Sarah also wants to capture Teddy to hand him over to the cartel boss. Valerie asks Sarah about the condition of Teddy's family. Sarah claims that Teddy's family has been killed by a hitman. Afterwards, Valerie re-enters the cell area. Inside, she lies to Teddy, telling him his family is fine. However, at the front door, a police officer checking Vidic's identity discovers that Vidic is a hitman. The curious officer checks on Vidic's hitman associates, but soon after, a man named Anthony arrives with balloons, claiming he wants to meet with Huber. Anthony immediately kills the officer. Shortly after, 2 medical officers sent to treat the injured man arrive, but Anthony kills them as well. Hearing the commotion, another officer approaches, and Anthony kills him too. It turns out Anthony is a psychopathic hitman who works with Huber, sent to kill Teddy. Valerie arrives and a shootout ensues. She runs towards the cell area to save the prisoners. Meanwhile, Huber kills his own sergeant. Anthony continues to try to kill Valerie, but fortunately she manages to enter the cell area. During the shootout, Valerie is shot in the stomach. Anthony approaches the cell room door and sees Vidic inside. Anthony and Vidic, who know each other, have a brief conversation. Anthony states that after killing Teddy, he will also kill Vidic because Vidic often outperforms him. Vidic responds that he will kill Anthony first. Furthermore, there's a $2 million bounty on Anthony's head placed by a businessman from Chicago. Anthony also tells Teddy that he has killed Teddy's family. Then, Anthony hides. Valerie grows weaker as her wound continues to bleed. She tries to call for police, hoping some have survived. Huber approaches Valerie and asks for the password to enter the cell room since Valerie had previously changed it. Vidic reveals that Huber has conspired with Anthony. Annoyed, Huber admits that he has also killed the sergeant. Then, Anthony and Huber devises a strategy to enter the cell room. Eventually, they decide to break through the side wall of the room. Valerie is unsure what to do, while Teddy tries to persuade her to give him the keys so he can get medicine for her, as she will die from blood loss if left untreated. However, Vidic warns Valerie not to trust Teddy, a known con artist. Nevertheless, Valerie gives the keys to Teddy, trusting him more than Vidic, a known hitman. Before leaving, Valerie reminds Teddy to first bring her medication because if Teddy does not return soon, Valerie will die. After leaving, it turns out Teddy has no intention of saving Valerie because he goes straight to avenge Anthony for killing his family. Meanwhile, 2 police officers returning from patrol are shocked to see the office in disarray. They also hear the sound of a hammer being used by Huber. When they check, Anthony immediately kills them. But at that moment, Teddy is there, and they exchange gunfire. On the other hand, Valerie is still waiting for Teddy to return. Vidic says that Teddy will never come back because he is a con artist. Bored, Vidic unlocks his own handcuffs and approaches Valerie. He promises to help Valerie stay alive if she opens the cell door. Meanwhile, Teddy and Anthony are still looking for an opportunity to shoot, and Huber, who is hiding, is found by Vidic. It turns out Vidic has been released by Valerie, and now Vidic will torture Huber to death. The tension continues as Anthony plays cat and mouse with Teddy until Anthony accidentally finds Huber's body. Vidic, who is there, immediately attacks Anthony, leading to a fight. In the end, Anthony is dying, but when about to finish Anthony, Vidic is surprised by Teddy's arrival. They point guns at each other. Vidic calls for a temporary ceasefire and allows Teddy to kill Anthony to satisfy his revenge. But Teddy immediately shoots Vidic. Then Teddy also finishes Anthony off. After that, Teddy, feeling he has settled everything, takes a gasoline can to burn down the police station. Before leaving the office, Teddy grabs some food from the break room because he is very hungry. However, behind him is Valerie, who now looks somewhat better. Valerie is very disappointed with Teddy for betraying her. The gunshot wound in Valerie's stomach was her attempt to save Teddy from Anthony's attack that was about to enter the cell room. Valerie asks Teddy to surrender, and she will take him to the prison in Nevada. However, Teddy kicks the gasoline can and shoots at Valerie, leading to a shootout. They try to incapacitate each other until an explosion throws Teddy. Then Valerie, with only one bullet left, tries to incapacitate Teddy. Eventually, Valerie succeeds in incapacitating Teddy, but suddenly Sarah arrives and shoots at Valerie. Fortunately, Valerie is wearing a bulletproof vest, so when Sarah tries to shoot her in the head, Sarah is shot first by Vidic. Vidic was already wearing a police bulletproof vest when he was shot. After that, Vidic finishes off Teddy. There, Valerie asks what is in Vidic's bag. Vidic replies that Valerie does not need to know and tells her to go home and rest. After that, Vidic leaves the place just as the fire department and ambulance arrive. On the way, Vidic contacts the cartel boss and says he has completed his mission. Then he contacts a businessman from Chicago and says he has brought Anthony's head. While Valerie is being treated, she suddenly wants to chase Vidic, and the film ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.